you know, we all know that this can be a very challenging business, right? I mean, we've all had ups and downs and all that stuff. And what I have found personally, because I have a not as similar uh not a similar personality as Wendy, but I've heard Wendy say in the past that she in the beginning in the early stages of her career here that she was a loner and she was a I'm going to do it my way and I know what I'm doing and I'm charging forward. I was a lot like that when I first started. I didn't think I needed anybody. And what happens is you find yourself on an island and not really reaching out to talk to anybody or looking for help or whatever. And what I've learned is that it's better to do this business together, to find a running buddy and be able to have somebody that, when you're having a bad day, you can lean on them a little bit and then vice versa. It usually happens where not the two people are not having a bad day. One of us is going to have a better day and we can lift each other up. So Sean and I have been, we've been running buddies for the last 3 years and have had some pretty high highs and have also had some pretty dang lows. So we just kind of wanted to share with you our journey together and what the things that we have done, that the mistakes that we've made, hopefully to keep you guys from repeating our mistakes, and just to show you the value of trying to find your running buddy and run to the top of the company.
Absolutely, Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
Yeah.
Hey, James.
Jenny, are you there? Hey, yeah. Sorry, I'm driving and I'm in a spotty area, but I didn't want to hijack the call or anything. I just wanted to take a moment, since you and Sean are running the call, to really just show a little bit of gratitude for you and Sean both. I can speak personally. I've been in the business off and on since January of 2020. But ever since you guys came on board, y'all have just really reshaped the whole business with y'all kindness, your help, your enthusiasm. And I just really wanted to personally thank you guys, because I know we don't talk that much, but I can't tell this team how many times throughout my personal journey and also my civic journey that Jenny's reached out to me and asked me just a simple little text, how's things going, how are the kids? Sean, you too, you and Brian are amazing. Let's go. So I wanted to say thank you to both of you. I look forward to seeing y'all in Dallas at the end of the month. But just wanted to tell everybody on the team how much I really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, James. Appreciate that. We love you, brother.
Absolutely. Appreciate it very much. Well, Jenny, the thing that I want to ask a question real quickly before I kind of continue on with us. I don't normally do this kind of thing, but if you have, and it's going to all kind of go together, if you have a fear of actually speaking and getting in front of people, put a 1 in the chat for me, if you would, please. If you have a fear of doing it. A lot of people don't realize it. Some of you do because you've been around me. Even right now, I'm nerved up. I do it. I just get to a particular point, but I'm doing it, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. Is pushing through our fears, but having somebody to be able to do that with. So when I had spoken with Wendy the other day. I spoke with Jenny the other day about they've asked me. And I mean, I actually started sweating after I got the thing from Jacob Pogue about being able to speak, and it was a month away. And thinking about having to get up there to be able to do it. But I got it from Wendy and I got it from Jenny, both of them saying, you got to do it. You absolutely have to do it. But it's that support here, and I'm continuing to push through that, but it's the support that we have. And it's finding that running buddy, that person that you can be working with that cares about you, and you care about them. And you care about what happens to them. And Jenny and I talked about, this is a very, very intimate relationship that we go through here. This is completely different than anything else you've ever done. If you've owned a business, I always thought, we talked about it, I would always say, well, I've owned businesses before, and I have. Completely different beast. You have to be able to grow. And I've said to Kay many, many times, Kay says it back to me a lot now, this business shines light on your weaknesses and your strengths, and there's no getting away from it. You absolutely have got to push through it. So me, as if I didn't push through this fear, I wouldn't be here, because this is part of it. This is something that you have to be doing if you continue to build and you continue to build relationships. But for myself, where I'll start and then give it back to you, Jenny, is we'll go back and forth. I go back to April of 23, and we're all going to go through a hard time. I was invited to go down to the Leader Summit, and I wasn't going to go. I had pretty much had it. Wendy, you and I talked about it too. When I had the conversation with Jenny, Jenny was going. She said, Sean, you need to go. You need to get down there. The reason I bring that up is because of that support. I may not have gone if I didn't have that running buddy in saying to me, Sean, you have to do this right now. Because I was in my mind and in my despair as far as struggling, because we're all going to do it. It's not easy, but it's worth it. But you've got to find somebody that you're continuing to work with. I mean, and Jenny and I have done that. Now, Wendy, it's like I said earlier, I have to do a shout out, because Wendy only came in 9 months after I got here. So it wasn't me. It's more like us growing together and continuing to grow together and becoming stronger as well. And that's because we've become friends and we built a relationship. And again, that's what this call is all about today, is about the relationships that you've got to build, and you have to lean into that. I'm going to give it back to you right now, Jenny.
Yeah, I totally agree. And look, I feel the same way about Kim Enerwald that you feel about Wendy. I mean, Kim was one of the first people that we recruited, that Randy and I recruited, and she's been here, one of the first people that really stuck, and believes in us, and we believe in her. And we've gone around the block, talking about, that this business can be kind of a revolving door kind of thing, and it gets frustrating and everything, but we're still trying to figure this thing out. And that kind of brings me into this funny thing that I wanted to bring up for everybody, that it was kind of around the same time that that the Rodan girls started catching some traction, Jamie Susie and Sarah Reinecke, and they were getting all this attention across the company and everything. And Sean and I were, attending these conferences and events and things like that. And we just started talking, and like, they've got to know something that we don't know. There is a secret sauce that they're not telling us, and nobody's sharing it. And so we made it our quest to try to get, join forces basically and figure out what that secret sauce was. And Sean, I'll let you expand on that a little bit, what we did.
So yeah, I mean, we started looking at everything, right? I mean, we started, and that was really, the journey started in April of 23, where we were trying to find the secret sauce. What is the secret sauce? What's the secret lead? What's the secret? What are they doing that we're not doing? The only thing that they're doing, the secret sauce, is its consistency, its activity. But the most important part to that, I mean, I could go down a rabbit hole and talk about all the different things. As a matter of fact, I called her last night about one thing that we had tried, because I just got off a phone with a client, and I was actually sitting here by myself laughing and thinking, oh my God, we were excited about that. And it was horrible. It was just horrible. So the thing is find it, stay. So the thing that I'll say, you'll learn from us, don't all roads lead to symmetry. Find what symmetry is giving you, whether that's Lighthouse leads, or it's getting into Opt, or it's Level Up, or it's Razor Ridge. All of these are approved by symmetry. Stay within inside of that, but find what you want and 100% stick with that at that point. Right. Don't go moving all over the place. Find one particular lead source you want to work with. And the thing is, they all work. Wendy's working one, Jenny's working one. I know other people, Brian Lorden's over on Level Up. There's different people doing different types of leads all over the place, and they're all winning. You just need to find one and stick 100% with that particular lead source. Yep.
And then the other thing too, that I think was a big eye opener for me, because I've always kind of been self-reliant and just like heads down looking at, what I'm doing or whatever, is having a more of a bigger picture um, perspective on this business, not just getting too tied up in the weeds of the day to day and the grind, and working one type of lead for a little while and then just throwing in the towel because it's not working and I'm going to just switch to something else. If you have a different perspective on your business and you actually track your numbers, that was the one thing that I learned late, probably too late, is that you can't ignore your agency numbers. You've got to be tracking that, because the numbers tell the story. The numbers will point out all the great things that are happening, but also will point out some of the things that you need to work on. So if you are not clear on how to track your numbers, read your numbers, and interpret your numbers, get with your mentor, and they will help you to be able to sharpen your skills there, because that's the key. I think is the people that are really successful here are the ones that have a good handle on their agency numbers and on their personal production numbers. So I just wanted to point that out. Did you have anything else, Sean, as far as that goes?
Well, I'm going to do a shout out because I took the time, Kay, and I'm going to do a shout out to them. Kay and Wendy back, I remember how far back, Wendy, I might actually have you add to this, is that I got in there and you're talking about the numbers. And man, I'll tell you what, it really makes a difference. You're sitting there and you're going through the numbers and it's up on the screen for everybody to look at. What are you doing today? What did you do yesterday? What did you do last week? And it all starts to add up. And one of the things that everybody says in there is the numbers owe you. So if you're putting in the dials and you're putting in the numbers, and then as you're going through, you're going to figure out where you're lacking. Is it that I'm not doing the dials, or I'm doing the dials, but I'm not being able to get an appointment set, or I'm getting an appointment set, but I'm not getting them to show up, but they're showing up and I'm not being able to sell. This helps you to figure out where you need to work on and who you need to talk to try to be able to help you. So that accountability is 9 o'clock Eastern every single morning that we have going on. And I mean, but if you're not in hours, find something to where you're being accountable and holding yourself accountable every single day. This is a business that you have to be working every single day.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Sean, I wanted to add to that. One
Yeah.
other piece of that, and looking at the numbers is, and everybody here that you look at it is how much are you placing? So maybe you're getting the appointment and you're closing them, but they're not getting placed, and why? So you need to understand why they're not getting placed. Are you doing your job and making sure that they're healthy enough? Are they're capable enough to actually get this placed? Right. So it doesn't do you any good unless it's placed. So I just wanted to add that piece.
No, very, very important piece. That's the whole point of writing it to begin with.
Yeah. So I wanted to just take a minute to talk about something that I think is so important. And we talk about it a little bit, but I think it deserves to be focused on a little bit more. And it goes hand in hand with having a running buddy that you can share this journey with. And it's, we all have huge goals here. We all ultimately want to be at the top of this company and be equity partners and live happily ever after. But enjoying the journey along the way every day is so important. I mean, we can get so wrapped up in bad days or, just crap, honestly. And it's being able to shift your mindset to look at the positive things that are going on and to be able to just enjoy the little wins, and having someone to share that with, because not everybody you will share with everyone, but having just somebody to share those wins, those little wins with, it means the world. And I'll let Sean talk a little bit more about that, but I'll just say too, that, we love leaderboards, and leaderboards are fun because you can track your own success. But at the end of the day, we are not in competition with each other. The leaderboards are just for fun. Actually, the beauty of this business is that we don't compete with each other. It's basically everyone has the same opportunity to win here. And the crazy thing is you can have just one or two little minor shifts in your business that can change things unbelievably. Like for instance, just one person, one interview that you have that you bring someone on can totally change your business. So every day you've got to be looking for those little things that could make a huge difference. I'll tell you, when I first got going here, I kind of took off pretty quickly. I started writing pretty well right away. Started recruiting, had some wins, kind of, broke apart and was going. And I remember when Sean came on and, he struggling a little bit, just kind of getting going. And they were Brian was helping with John Paul with the graphics and things like that. And he ended up getting some ads and, sure enough, look at Sean now. He's kicking my butt. So, I mean, we're not competing with each other. We're actually cheering each other on because I know that it only would take, one or two really great people for us to cultivate and mentor and grow to where, I might be kicking his butt. So, but we have fun. We have fun with it. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's it, we do have fun with it. And the most important thing here that I have found is we need to lift each other up, right? So it's about having the running buddy, but it's also about not tearing anybody else down. You're here to lift each other up. And the thing is I can look around and I'm looking at the screen and I'm looking at everybody here. I mean, I really have got to know, I would say probably 90% of you. There's some new ones that I haven't got to know yet, but I really, really would, if you know me, I would drop pretty much what I have going on and I would help you. And I know that Jenny would do the same thing. If Wendy right now, she's getting, using her as an example again, but she's getting all these calls and all this you want to get on the call and tell us what you're doing. What's the secret sauce? What's going on? But she's taken the time to go and do that. And that's not even with inside our team, right? So it's us helping others. And then you know what happens? Then they feel that and they want to be able to help you as well. So you're helping each other and we lift each other up. And that's what Jenny's talking about. As far as we're going to go back and forth. You cannot compare yourself to somebody else. Just compare yourself to what you did yesterday, what you did last week. In this business is you can't look at today and say, what did I accomplish just today? You have to look at it as this week, as this month. And that's why accountability is so great, because you can look back at what did I accomplish? What am I doing right and what am I doing wrong? What do I need to try to fix? Because we're going to continue. Someone's going to go flying by you and then another person's, you can't look at it that way because you're doing it together. But like she said, we do it in fun. It's fun to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then there's one thing that I did want to mention too, that, having a running buddy or even a couple of running buddies, it's a lot different than being a professional visitor. Sean and I were laughing about that. A year or two ago, we had this program that we had put together called it was called Prepare to Launch. And it was a whole program that we put together to help our new agents to get up and writing and productive. And we had classes every week and different calls to get on. And I mean, I think we had 2 or 3 calls a day at one point where you could jump on. And the one thing that we realized that was not working was that we had people coming on these calls. They weren't actually doing any work. They were actually just professional visitors. They just wanted to get on these calls and visit with everybody, which is so fun. But it wasn't doing us any good. And so the Prepare to Launch, we decided to name it Failure to Launch. So we ended that program pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people, and to add to that, so you can come in here and you can go and you can start getting into every meeting there is. And there are meetings every single day. I can find you a meeting about every single hour all day long that you can go to. but you need to find inside this business what you want. Do you want to be great at mortgage protection, final expense? Do you want to be getting mortgage protection leads? Whatever it may be, but you cannot be Walmart. This is your business. You can't be Walmart, but you can be one special thing. When you get started here, find one special thing to be really great at. And don't be going to all the meetings and going to advanced market meetings and all of this. When you first start, you have to find something that you're going to start putting gas in the engine, and that instead of just jumping around and being in all the different meetings out there. Just to add to that, Jenny.
Totally agree. Rand, did you want to chime in?
Yeah. A couple of things. One of the things, and Sean alluded to it, and one of the things you see when you've been here, and Cherie's new on this call, it's her first time on here, and so it's good to kind of bring this up. Because what Cherise doesn't have the ability to see, she doesn't has her first time here, is like to see how Wendy's evolved. Like I'm really impressed. Like I watch Wendy and I'm like, man, she's writing like crazy. She's leading these calls. Sean was afraid to be on calls and lead calls and things like, so you really can't help but grow if you plug into the system and do well. And I know Danny Young said that too. It's going to happen, right? You're going to evolve. You're not going to be the same person you were before. But I wanted to use a little bit, I guess, since the Super Bowl weekend coming up, I wanted to use some team analogies, I guess, that, for me, any success I've ever had in business or success that Jenny and I are having together with this really has to go back to what I learned playing football in high school. And I wasn't a great football player and everything, but I was on a team, and that formed me as who I am today in business and doing things, right? Because, when we started this, Jay says, I'm not a manager. Well, no one's asking you to be a manager, but, how do you know you're not a good leader? And her ability to evolve as a leader. And that really comes from in sports, you're going to tend to want to too, is to do what comes the most natural to you. You're a quarterback that can run the ball. You're going to want to run more than you're going to throw, but your coach is there to help you to learn to throw too. Right. And so you're going to have to, as a team, as an individual in the team, you're going to have to do things that are not in your comfort zone for the betterment of the whole team. Right. Because I was watching a Fireside Chat with Nick Saban the other day with some of his players, and he said he had more individual talks with players than he did as a team, whole team discussions. Because as a mentor, and this is really good for everybody. For me, it really struck as being a mentor to people that we're bringing on. We're coaches, right? And we need to be in tune with how our players' mindset is, because this is such a mindset issue. And so when Saban said that, he was like, he could see a player was getting down on himself because he messed up in a drill or he did something, right? And so his job was to get in with that individual player, understand that, yes, you made the mistake and you did this, but here's the things that you need to do to be special. And if everybody can do special things, then they're going to win championships. Right. And so as mentors and builders, we need to be in touch with our team and understand where they're at, because they're going to have a bad day. We've had them. We're going to have a day where we didn't get in touch with leads. We're going to have somebody that we had a lot of, we're excited about that joined our team that left for no reason. Right. But you can't go down a road and get frustrated. If you go down the road and just get frustrated, things aren't going your way, and try to look for it somewhere else, it's really not going to be there, right? We had somebody here that made agency owner and then didn't hit agency numbers anymore, and then went to another company. Like, okay, well, the things that you got to do, is that going to change? It's like being in the transfer portal in college football, And Tom Brady was talking about that this morning. He said, the thing I have concerned about the transfer portal for these young players that sign with a team out of high school is they run into adversity and they immediately transfer to another team. So they've never been able to grow, and growing is being able to deal with that adversity, right? And be able to bust through that and then be successful, because you're going to have it here. You're going to have it anywhere you go. Right. And so I think we have a special place because of the people and the way that Symmetry's culture is. And I think it's just something to keep in mind as far as as we're individuals, we have to do special things individually, and then we'll win as a team. And then your people that become your running buddies are your teammates to help you kind of get through that. And your mentors are also your coaches that can help you get through those things. And that's the right mindset to be in. So I just wanted to, yeah, and you're right, Wendy. Hard is what makes it good, right? You know, when you bust through that, man, you get that done. It's so rewarding, you know? So I just wanted to share my kind of football stuff. And the other thing that Saban said, which I was really profound, was that the worst professional mistake he ever made was leaving LSU. So to all the Alabama people out there, I just wanted to
Go Tigers.
make sure that, and I know Danny Young's going to be glad to hear that. I got to send that to him. Anyway, that's what I had to share this morning.
Awesome.
If it was easy, we wouldn't be here, because everybody else would be in line running just as fast as they could if there was just a handout, and it's not. I mean, Jenny, we were going to add this, so I'm going to follow up on that, is that some of you have heard this, but I have a family member, married into a family member, but there's been times that I'm still here working, and it's even this evening. People are going to dinner and things like that, and I have an appointment with a client at 7. So they're going to go at 6 o'clock. I'm not going to be able to go. I have to stay. My point in what I'm saying is that it was this last week, and he has a really great job, or he did, really great job working for Baxter, which is Batesville Casket here in Batesville, Indiana. Big, high-paying job. Gets out at 5 o'clock. They're off going every single day. Weekends off, the whole bit. Well, he was having a beer about noon earlier this week, because he was let go. Job's gone. Here, they can never, if you work and you make it here and build your business, and you will, it's not an if, as long as you're putting in the activity, plugging in and building the relationships, nobody can ever take that away from you. They can't say to you, okay, one day, or oh, we're cutting back on salaries. Because you put in the effort, you put in the work, you built this. This is yours to be able to build and leave that legacy to your family. But it's that, so if it's not working, and I've said this more lately, but you have to look at yourself, because the system works. People are winning here. So if you're not in there dialing, if you're not in, whether it's in the Meng tank or whatever, the accountability, if you're not doing that, you have got to look at yourself. I had to look at myself. There's 2 boxes here that you have to be doing. One is building the business, and the other one is doing the production. So I had to really look at myself. In January 1st, I was into the new lead system, and I said, I am not moving from that. But you have to look at yourself, because it is on you if it isn't working. But find that person that you can run with to be able to help you do it. That's the bit. So somebody can help support you as you're going along. Jenny, I'll give it back to you.
You know, the one thing that I learned, you know, early on, just listening to some of these speakers on the national calls and things like that, some of the mistakes that they've made. And I can't remember who it was, but one of them was talking about the fact that they, you know, they learned how to write, and they became a pretty darn good writer, and they would write, you know, $20,000, $30,000 a month. And instead of, and so what they did was they took their profits of, you know, whatever after they paid their bills and all that stuff, and they just buy stuff. You know, they were just like treating themselves, you know, I made it, you know, I know I can write now. I'm just going to buy me a new car, and I'm going to buy me this, and I'm going to buy me that. And what they didn't do was invest their money back into their business, because the writing is only one side of it. But growing a team and recruiting and all that stuff, that's the only way. You don't see anybody that gets to the top of the company just writing, producing. The way to get there is to have an army of people all marching in the same direction and going there together. And the only way you're going to get that army, unless you come in here with this huge warm market, which we've seen that there are a lot of people that have done that. But for the most part, you're going to have to invest in some type of recruiting platform so that you can find the people to build your team and find your running buddies and find your tribe and run to the top of this company. So, no matter how long it takes you to get there, 8 years, 2 years, 4 years, whatever, you've got to sacrifice now and keep investing in your business so that you can reach the top of the company, and then you can just, reap the rewards, go to, Mexico and hang out on the beach with John Paul.
When he said yesterday, I'm tired of seeing all those pictures coming through.
know,
Everybody
right?
on vacation down there. Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what I wanted to say. I don't really have a whole lot more to contribute. Sean, if you have something, or maybe we want to open it up and just give whoever wants to have a chance to comment or speak or whatever.
The only other thing that I'll say is that one of the things that will happen is that you will, at some particular point, and that's what happened to me, you lose faith in yourself. Right? So I'll say that particular part of the story for a moment. And then, yeah, I agree 100%, Jenny, is I got really sick. Injections for $10,000 a month that insurance wouldn't pay for. Me trying to get on the phone and trying to be able to dial and try to work. So what happens? You start losing faith in yourself and you being able to do it, because now, instead of getting on and being in that positive mode of trying to get through to somebody and speak to them and schedule an appointment, you lose faith in yourself, and then you it's almost like a deer in the headlights. You're not working on it anymore. The reason that I bring it up is it goes back to plugging into the support system that you have, and you have it. This team and where you're at right now, there are a lot of, so Symmetry is one of the most amazing systems I've ever seen in my life. And I believe, as far as our support system, we're one of the most amazing support systems inside Symmetry. So plug into that system. And I agree with you. Let's open it up.
And I just want to say, because you just sparked a thought in my head, that being able to share the vision with somebody else and being able to talk about it is really, really powerful. So, when you get excited about something and you really believe in something and have faith that it can happen, when you can share that with somebody else and talk through it and even daydream a little bit together. Like Sean and I laugh, and we're like, one day we're going to be on the beach and sitting on the beach with our margaritas, and we're going to be like, remember when that happened? Remember when this happened? And it's just going to be like, it's going to be like such a blessing, and just like all of the tough times are going to be water under the bridge. But the fact that we can dream together. And actually, one of my favorite things is when I get an idea and I can call Sean and I'm like, hey, I got this idea. What do you think about this? And hey, what can we do with this idea? Or let's create this program or this system or whatever to help us, get where we want to go. That's when it becomes really fun, and you feel like you're just not alone, that you've got the support system there. So just wanted to say that.
Well, and here the last shout out. So like Kay, and I've said it 9 million times, but the thing is when you're struggling, if you're really having a rough time, Kay will go light a candle for you and pray for you. And I'll tell you what, it works. Just saying, just had to add that part. Again, back to those relationships,
right, that
you continue to build, and get out and get involved with the people that spend time with them. Don't just get on a Zoom call. I mean, I'm supposed to go to Kay's house here this spring. Wendy, we went down and we had a Christmas dinner. It was short. I had to come running home, for an emergency, but we'll do it again. Get together. It's like me talking about Allie with the martini. Reach out and get to know each other. And that way you've got the support system to be able to build this business.
Amen, bro. We have about 15 minutes. I would love to hear from some of you what your thoughts are, if you agree, if you have any
just want, Jenny, before we open up, just one and I'm missing out on the martinis, and I'm not happy about that. Sean and I would have, we can tell our tailgating stories another day. But I guess it's also the mindset too, right? I mean, enjoy the journey. It was said before, but if you're going to go places you've never been, you got to do things you've never done. And so when things aren't happening right for you, you got to go back to that mindset process, right? I think it's important. And I'll leave it back to Jenny if you want to open
I'm
it.
going to toss it over to Allie. I see a hand, a
Hand
yellow
up.
hand.
Hello.
Hi.
I hope my sound is okay, you guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right. I just want to share, just given the theme of today's call, like two things, just in everything we've talked about. This is going to be hard. It should be hard. We don't want it to be easy. If it's easy, like you've said, everybody will do it, but you also aren't going to grow. You're not going to become the person that you need to become to actually build the type of business that you want to build here. And you get to decide, only each of us gets to decide how long that hard is going to last. Like Wendy made a decision that hard was going to be done, it's still going to be hard. It's going to be hard for different reasons, but you choose your hard. And she decided, I'm going to produce and I'm going to get rid of this other hard thing that's weighing on me. And every one of us has a choice every day to do that. But to do it alone is going to make it a heck of a lot harder. So I love the theme of today's call. I can't tell you how many times I've reached out to all of you, Jenny, Sean, Wendy. You probably get sick of me reaching out. But it's true. Like, we have this amazing team of people that have done what we want, right? And even on other teams that have done what we want, tap into it. They are willing to help you because guess how they got where they needed to be? Wendy's didn't start writing $80,000 a month without anyone's help. She reached out to Ashley Richards, who'd done it before her. Reach out to people and get to know people, because you will be very regretful if you don't do it. It's going to take you a lot longer. That's all. And I love you all.
Oh, we love you too, Eileen. The relationship continues to build, right? So like I said, Wendy, there was Jenny and I, and then Wendy was about 9 months in. Kay, I'm trying to think, you were probably about 14 months in. That relationship started to build. I think Brian Lorden's maybe about a year, 3 months, something like that now, building the but you're going to continue to build those relationships, right? Because that's what this whole thing is about. And then you continue on to find more people to come on. But now you have the relationships, you have that base, you have that strength, because you're continuing to build the relationships that are new. Now Wendy's off doing her thing. We get to talk all the time, because we're friends and we talk about business as well, but it's not just about the business anymore. She doesn't need to talk to me anymore. I mean, we do, but she doesn't need to. So it's that continuation to grow and continue to build your business, but having the support like everybody that's on this team. Robin's got her hand up.
Yeah. When I got into this business last May, I really wanted to know what the work looked like. I wanted to know, the hype is great and the unity is the culture was wonderful, but I needed to know what the work looked like. And the best place for me to have done that was in the Mank Tank. And that Mank Tank has just really taught me, really how to do this business. Listen to Jenny and listen to Wendy and listen to Kay and everybody that I've heard in the Mank Tank. And yes, Jenny, I've had my little stay in there. I'm tiptoeing in there to do it, but I'm a good substitute. I haven't signed up yet, but I'm a good substitute to go on. But the other thing is the accountability group. The numbers really do tell the story. And what I've learned from that is really what the work looks like. From others being so willing to share. That to me is incredible. And somebody said, might have been John Paul, said to me when I got in, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And that's so true here. And that's what's taught me, to keep going. So.
Robin, you are such a winner. You're the perfect example of someone who's just come in here less than a year and you're already putting up good numbers. Talk to some of the new people on this call as to what that work does look like for you.
Well, it's definitely in the dials. The dials certainly tell the story. And I've had to beef that up, I've had to pump that up. In the beginning, I was doing good if I did 150 dials a week. Now I'm challenged to do 100 calls a day. I've got a running buddy who's on me about that. So Karen Simmons, yay, Karen. So I'm I'm doing that. I committed to her to do that. Wendy did a 90-day challenge for starting February 1st. So it's just picking those numbers and then just trying to hit those numbers. And being in that Mank tank is the bomb diggity. Truly it is.
It's another accountability thing. If you're in there and you're working, you're focusing on work during that period of time because you're in there with everybody else working, instead of letting all the distractions come in.
Right.
That's where I have found that it has helped me. So yeah, Robin, you are definitely talking about plugging in, doing what you're supposed to do and doing everything. You're doing all of that. She is a perfect example of doing the system works, and she's using the system and it's working for Robin. So that doing what she's doing is 100% what you need to be doing.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, every successful hierarchy in Symmetry has a Mank tank, some form of dial room, work room, something like that, where everyone can go in there and listen to each other, ask questions, support each other. And the Mank tank is that's our hierarchy workroom. So, the other thing is, and I might be speaking out of line here because I'm, but I will say that, there was some buzz going on for a long time about, when you're in the Mank tank, it's all about the dialing and, you're not talking to anybody or whatever, but it's actually a great place to connect with people in the Mank tank. I mean, you don't necessarily have to put your microphone on, but you can chat, you can chat with certain people in the Mank tank and connect on that level. So I highly encourage everybody to do that.
I think Tamika has a question for us, Jenny.
Hey there, more so a comment, just on the timeliness of this topic, the fact that what you all saying are words of truth and also so encouraging. Actually, earlier today on the team call, I was not able to have my camera on because I was literally in my floor, just discouraged on many fronts. And I received some very harsh words that I just did not see the merit in it. And I said, okay, it's all right. I'm just going to take this as an opportunity to go through it. So I've added some of the words that you all have said in terms of face and push through the pain. And so I crawled my way to my computer to turn my camera on. It's like, I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to continue on and I'm going to succeed. I'm going to win at this. So I am so grateful for each of you that lended your voice to truth, because I'm not the only one that crawls, I know, but I know that I am a winner and greatness is inside of me and I'm going to win at this. And this crisis will be something that I'm able to climb out of and help others as well. So your voices have pulled me forward today, and I thank you.
We love you, Tamika.
We never know what's on the other side of a camera. We never know why someone's camera is off. And so I just thank you that, your words were so powerful, and it got me to the point where I could actually turn my camera on, but I could not let this call in without saying thank you.
Tamika, if I could respond to you, because you have no idea how many times I have been on the floor crying, not wanting to have conversations, feeling like an elephant has sat on my chest. And let me tell you, I wouldn't take any of it back because I had to go through it. But here's the thing I will tell you. This system works if you work it. It 100% does. Doesn't matter if you're buying a 50-cent lead or you're buying a $55 lead or whatever it is. It works. And it doesn't matter what people say to you, because you're going to outgrow those people. You're going to become the person you're meant to become. And if you're here and you're trying to push through this, not trying, you are pushing through this. I'm very, very careful by the words I use these days. I don't like try. I don't like can't. I just don't use them. You're becoming the person you're supposed to. You just keep showing up for yourself And whatever you need to do to make that happen, become obsessed with the process and feeding yourself what you need, and everything else will just go away. And that's the thing is, if you're new and you see my numbers and you think they're great, they're great. You should have seen me a year ago. And not only was I spent money I shouldn't have spent, did not run my business I shouldn't have run. I found out my husband had cancer. I almost quit the business because I heard conversations that hurt my ego talking about me. But you know what? None of that matters because I'm becoming Wendy, the person who builds a business. Me and Ryan are building this for our family. I'm becoming the woman for my daughter that I knew when I was her age, and no one can take that from you. And I think it's very brave you speaking up and being vulnerable because a lot of people don't do that. And that just was on my heart. So good for you. Keep showing up. That's why you come to these meetings.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why I listen. I go to the main tank and I listen to you, Wendy. I listen to you, Jenny. I listen to Stacy. I listen. And I'm like, they can do it. I'm gonna do it.
You never know when someone's going to say something that changes everything for you.
Yeah.
Tamika, the fact that you are on this call today and that you got up off the floor and you made the decision, to turn your camera on and to speak to this group, that says a lot about you, girl. That says a lot about your character. So if you're not believing in yourself right now, you borrow some of that from us because we believe in you.
Thank you.
You are fabulous, Tamika. Hear me roar.
And I love you, Sean.
To girlfriend. You know, and that's the thing. For me, I want to say this is part of before Tamika even got on. Something that people find strange here is that when we get together, we don't just shake hands, we hug each other. People think that we're a bunch of freaks. Like, what's going on? Why are we all trying? I'm a hugger anyway, anybody that knows. But that's the thing, because we really, really do care about each other. That's the thing, being able to help each other.
But who's the best hugger?
Kim Enerworld. So you want a hug? I need one from Robin now. Robin's going to be coming. We got to get one from Robin. And Tamika, you're going to be there at Ignite, aren't you?
I wish the only reason I won't is because my son will be at the Bandmasters Hall of Fame performing. It's a once in a lifetime thing. That's the only reason I won't be there.
Well, we're sending you an air hug.
Main tank. I'm not going either because Ryan's having surgery. So me and
okay.
we'll work it out in the main tank together.
That's right.
Sean, I'll be there with you.
Okay. Give me the hug. Where are you?
Asia, I'll be
Asia,
here
there
with
we
you.
are. Okay.
Did anybody else have anything before we end the call? We're at the top of the hour, but I wanted to give everybody a chance to speak up. If you have anything you want to contribute or say or whatever, we'd love to hear from you. Anybody?
Stacy says we made her a hugger. I love it.
I'm sorry. I was looking for my hand and I couldn't find my hand to put my hand up.
You don't have to put your hand up, Cherie.
No, go right
I
ahead.
just wanted to thank Brandy and Jenny. I wanted to thank you guys for allowing me to sit in on this call this morning. I really appreciate it. I'm inspired from what I see, from what I'm hearing, and I'm looking forward to being an active member here in this group. I'm just excited now. And I'm glad that I had the chance to just listen to your stories and look at the numbers, not just the numbers, but see how you all get along and encourage each other and you're an inspiration to each other. So now I'm really looking forward to being a real part of the team. So the next time you see me, I'll be writing some business. So thank you. Thank
All right,
you.
Cherie.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
Wait.
welcome.
You're on Jenny's team?
Yeah, she's on our
And
team.
Randy.
And
All
our
right.
team.
Oh,
Sean,
what's that?
we'll try to poach Cherie.
Come on. No. Oh,
All right, everybody. Y'all go make it a great day.
what a great day, guys.
Bye-bye.
Love you
Hugs to
all.
everybody.